Sure. Well, let's bring back Mike Keith, the voice of the Vols, who was spending some time earlier this week with one of the guys on the 2003 team, Jayson Swain. What did he tell you about that win down in Gainesville?
That's the last one, as you know. That's the last time Tennessee has won here in Gainesville was 2003. Final score, Tennessee 24, Florida 10, a very hard-fought victory for the Vols. Jayson Swain, he of the Vol Radio Network now, was the leading receiver for Tennessee in that game as a true freshman. That was only his third game playing for Tennessee, and so he just thought it was, whatever. It was not whatever. It's hard to do. And so we asked Jayson Swain to take us down memory lane, remembering what Tennessee did well on that day, what was special about it, and maybe what can be applied for the Big Orange tonight. The leading receiver for Tennessee that day was Jayson Swain. 4 catches, 54 yards. The significance of that to me, though, that was your third game?
Yep.
You were a true freshman.
Yep.
Were you 18 or 19?
18.
Okay, so you're 18 years old. You're going into the swamp for the first time. What do you think when you hear that? We're going into the swamp.
It was made a bigger deal by some of the older players on our team, the Rashad Bakers, the Jabari Greers, the Anthony Herreras, the older players really emphasized how important it was to play on the road at the swamp and what type of mental toughness you got to have. And I was like, okay, well, I don't have to worry about that because I feel like I have that. It's just a stadium. Ours is pretty intimidating, but I think if you go out and focus on your job and you do your job, then you'll be okay. So that was really my mindset going to the swamp. It was so hot, though. It was a different level of humidity. The flies that were flying around looked like little birds to me. It was so humid, so hot. And that was a noon game. So that was probably the biggest adjustment because in high school you play Friday night.
Right.
And so in college, first game was an early game against Fresno State. I want to say Marshall ended up being like a 3:30 game-ish. And then Florida game, that was an early game. So I'm still getting used to playing, when it's 90 degrees outside, top of the day. So that was probably the biggest adjustment. But going into the swamp, I had some revenge I felt like I needed to. Yeah, athletes, we always find ways.
As a freshman, you've got a revenge thing?
Yeah, because one of the assistant coaches during my recruiting process told me they were going to come to my school on a Thursday to watch me practice, and they didn't show up and didn't call. So I took that as motivation.
Nice.
Yeah, so I was like, oh yeah, I gotta get this one. And that coach was on that staff there with Ron Zook. So that was a motivating factor for me.
Okay, so you're involved in that game early.
Yep.
You're catching passes. Tennessee's doing things, but you keep turning the ball over. And so you get to the end of the first half. You're down 3-0.
Yeah.
And then a Hail Mary actually pays off.
Yeah.
What do you remember about the play?
I remember the play call. Sending all guys vertical, and then James Banks coming down with it. And I wasn't surprised when it happened because that's James Banks. He would make the catch, it seemed like every game. He would make a big-time catch. And we saw him make plays like that in practice. So it felt like it was just it was going to be our day that day.
It's been 22 years since Tennessee has won at Ben Hill Griffin Stadium. If you had to tell the players, the current 2025 Vols, from your experience, what it takes to win there, what would you say to them?
60 minutes of throwing constant haymakers. You're going to catch some, you're going to get hit, but you get up, you keep swinging. I think if you swing for 60 minutes, you beat this Florida football team.
What does it mean to the Tennessee football program, Jayson Swain, in this day and time, if they go down and they stop this streak of losing at Florida?
The players on this team, they're not going to know about the streak unless, media folks like you and I tell them, right? I think for us fans, though, it means a lot because it's only a handful of times we've beaten Florida. And usually we look at our season, whether it's good or bad, based on how we play against Florida, how we play against Alabama, how we play against Georgia. And here's a great opportunity to get a win versus one of those three rivals And not many people can say, hey, man, this team beat Florida on the road. And this will be something that's done for the first time in 22 years.
That's right.
It's a heck of an opportunity, and it's there for the taking. I mean, it is there for the taking for this football team.